I'd say some practical virtues, a sense of simplicity, humility, piety. And I'd say some intellectual virtues when you think, and we have to think of those two Latin words, fides et ratio, faith and reason. This is a towering intellect who believed with his whole heart and soul the truth of revelation. And to bring those two together, faith and reason. The world today wants to split them. He said they work together. Pope Francis invited the world and the church to pray with and for Benedict. We can't forget the example that he gave in his resignation, that he more or less said, look, I'm not in this for the prestige, the power, the office. I'm in it for service, as Jesus taught. And if I can't serve in a robust, vigorous way, perhaps it's better to step aside. I think those will all be legacies. Because we figure that Jesus and Mary were with him when he died. Can't get happy. I'm surprised at the quasi-unanimity of the mourning of Benedict on both sides. You know, we churchmen kind of shy away from those political terms like liberal and conservative. And I'm surprised at the good number of people, I mean, even in New York, people that would not even be Catholic, our Jewish neighbors, politicians, they would just say he was such an honorable, radiant man. They gratefully would remember his visit to New York in 2008. So would one side or the other, to use those regrettable partisan words, I guess one side or the other might be mourning him more, but I think I'm just very touched with the kind of inclusive praise that's being given him, and happy for it, because it's true. I would have to admit that I was disappointed when he retired, because I loved him. I deeply appreciated the leadership he was given to the church, so I said, oh my God. On the other hand, I have to say there was a deep admiration for what he did, and as the years went on, that admiration sort of grew. Well, there's always been that option. He made it a little more accessible, I would think, but he also let it be known that this was a long, tough decision. It should never be made lightly. So I doubt if it's going to happen again in the near future. I could be wrong, but I wouldn't think so. I kind of hope not. The church kind of needs that stability in office, and I hope it continues. I really recall the intensity of his listening and the interest that he showed to us. See, the caricature was that he was professorial, he was used to lecturing, he kind of wanted to give answers more than questions. Boy, when you would go in to see him, he was intensely interested. Tell me what is going on. Speak to me about this issue. Help me understand that. And you could just see the intensity of his listening and his interest. That struck me deeply. When I was made a cardinal, I have a personal anecdote, especially since I'm missing my mom, my first Christmas without her, that when I was able to bring her up to meet Pope Benedict, he said to her, he took her and said, but you are too young to be the mother of a cardinal. And my mom said, oh, Holy Father, I've always believed the Pope's infallible. Now I know it.